Okay, very good. And let's keep adding. Mike, if you can just let people in as we keep going. Very good. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Access to Capital panel. We are so excited to have all of you here today. Today is a collaboration between the Minority Business Development Agency, the Small Business Office with the City of Albuquerque, and the American Indian Chamber of Commerce. We're just so grateful to have all of you here today. So I'm just going to do a very brief overview of what the plan is for today, and then I will let our other hosts also share a little bit about themselves so that we all know about the resources that are available today. So my name is Gabriela Marcus. I serve as Center Director for the New Mexico Minority Business Development Agency here in New Mexico, and we're just so excited to have this space. And as you know, we're all small business owners, or we work with small business owners, and we know that there's always the question about access to capital. Where can I find funding? What is the best funding for my type of business, for the type of equipment or working capital, real estate that I want to purchase? And we realize that the best thing to do is just to bring all the experts together, which are all the lenders that are present in our community. So we had one of these sessions 6 months ago, and we want to have one at least twice a year where we bring in different lenders. That way the business owners are familiar with the possibilities, the myriad of different lenders, and trying to find the one that makes most sense for your business. So I am the Center Director for the Minority Business Development Agency. We do a lot of technical assistance supporting minority-owned companies. Just so that everyone knows, we are funded by the U.S. Department of Commerce and operated by the City of Albuquerque, but we do not have geographic boundaries. So we're happy to support businesses with access to capital, with panels like this, or making sure they are connected to the correct lender. Also with lots of trainings, access to government contracting. We do a lot of technical assistance around that, and we have lots of softwares that can help you get those contracts related to your the service and goods that you provide, and also access to new markets. So happy to have everyone here. Also, it's November, which is Native American Heritage Month, and we're just so excited and blessed that we live in the state of New Mexico, where there are so much of those tribes and culture that's still alive, and we have so many opportunities to go and celebrate throughout the month of November, but of course not just the month of November, throughout the whole year, and go visit the Indian American Chamber of Commerce. Woo, Marvis is here, we'll share a little bit more, but also visiting the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center and many of the festivities that will happen throughout the year. Very good. I will pass it now to Carrie Vender with the Small Business Office.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Carrie Vender. I'm the Small Business Liaison under Economic Development with the city. I'm currently the only person in the Small Business Office, so it's my job to just field every call and concern from small businesses in the city. My job is essentially to help people navigate city processes, and then also to just find literally any resource that you're seeking. I'll help you try to find to push your business forward. And I work closely with Gabby and Mike at the MBDA. We tag team quite a few businesses back and forth, just trying to get everybody moving. So, and I will reiterate what Gabby said. The number one question we get asked is, how do I find funding for my small business? There's a myth of business grants out there that really doesn't exist in most cases. So our goal is to help you find all of the answers in terms of financing that we can provide, which is why we're here today, and this is wonderful. Thanks, Gabby.
Of course. Marvis.
Good morning, everybody. Marvis Aragon here with the American Indian Chamber of Commerce of New Mexico. Good to see everybody. It's good to see everybody. It's what I just said in my language. I'm from Acoma Pueblo, and in celebration of Native American Heritage Month, we celebrate every day, and one of the ways we do that is by keeping our language alive and going. So good to see everybody here. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Gabriela, for partnering with this in the city of Albuquerque. Thank you, Carrie, for this session. We're excited. We have a number of businesses who have revisited their strategies, of course, as we pass through COVID, and some of them have revisited all the way back to their business model. And to fund the new business model or new strategies, we need access to capital. And as many of you probably know, for Native businesses, especially those located on tribal lands, it can be difficult at times to access that capital. So I'm really happy with today's session, excited for today's session, and excited for all of you in joining us. We're located on the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center campus on 12th Street. We're not in the main building, but in a separate building northwest. So if you pull into that north parking lot of the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center, you look directly west, you'll see our building. So come by and see us. I'll share a little bit more later on in the session. Thank you.
Fabulous. Well, welcome everyone. And we're going to start with the lenders. So we have quite a few number of lenders today. So the participants, make sure to pay attention. All the slides will be emailed out. So no worries about taking detailed notes and their contact information as well. That way you can follow up. So here you go. So for start with, we will start with Rita Valera. She is a Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Coordinator at the New Mexico Economic Development Department.
Thank you, Gabriela. And thank you to the MBDA for hosting this event. As Gabriela mentioned, my name is Rita Karina Veleta, and I am the JEDI coordinator for the New Mexico EDD. I work for the office that was newly created last year, which is the Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Office, where we connect minority-owned businesses and community organizations to economic development programs, resources, and opportunities. We also advocate for historically underrepresented businesses, for example, minority, rural, and underserved business in New Mexico. And one other thing that we do is we help business owners navigate working with the department. We do know that it can be intimidating, and we do recognize that there are many businesses that do continue to fall through the cracks of traditional programs that we offer. And that is why our office was created. Internally, we also address equity and diversity within the department through policy, programs, training, and management. And just so you all know, I am bilingual in English and Spanish, and would love to connect with the many entrepreneurs that are here today online regarding some of the programs that we offer at the state level. Since we have a lot of presenters today, I will be focusing on one program, which is our CAP program, Collateral Assistance Program. CAP is a program in which the New Mexico Economic Development Department can pledge cash to cover a collateral shortfall of a loan in order to enable financing. So this basically translates to cash support of up to 50% of the principal, with a max of $250,000 for under collateralized loans. The percentage of how much collateral can be covered by the department is based on scoring factors, and there is a special preference given to business owners who are part of socially and economically disadvantaged groups. And you could see those listed on the screen. The way that the application works is basically a business owner who is looking for a loan would go to a lender or a CDFI of their choice. So if you're already banking with somebody, or you're already working with the CDFI that you trust, you can go to them, and that lender would apply on your behalf to be able to participate in the CAP program. You do have to be approved by the lender on their terms. So basically the lender will decide what the interest rate will be, what the term of the loan will be. And then once you're approved by them, the lender would then go and apply for CAP. After the lender applies on behalf of you as a business owner, the application goes to a scoring committee, and then we turn around in 30 days to give you an answer on how much collateral we can cover. We know that collateral can be an issue whenever trying to look for financing, because most of the time you have to come up with 100% of the value of the loan for collateral. And so CAP can be used for loans that will be used to cover startup costs, working capital, equipment, inventory, and many other things that you can see listed on the screen as well. If you want to know more about the program, please visit our website, which is edd.newmexico.gov. Under business resources, you can find some templates as to how the program works, the timeline, everything. There's a contact on there, which right now is Joanna Nelson. You can find her direct phone number, and she is the direct contact for the CAP program right now. There are over 20 local lenders who are already enrolled in the program, and you can find out who they are in case you're not sure who to work with quite yet. You can find out who they are on our website. And if there happens to be a lender in your area or a CDFI that you are already working with, that you already trust, we can help them enroll. It's really easy. So don't let that hold you back from trying to find a loan. And as Gabriela and Carrie mentioned earlier, finding funding is one of the most popular questions and concerns amongst business owners. So if you would like to get your project matched up to find funding, please go to our website and look for the Business Finance Finder tool on our website. And that will help you find a local lender that will fit your needs and your project. And yeah, that's a little bit about one of the programs that we offer with that. We connect with lenders, and hopefully it eases some burden off of business owners' backs. So thank you all for your time, and I look forward to connecting with some of you here. I will be putting my contact information in the chat. That way you can get in contact with me, anything to do with CAP or any other state program that you have questions on. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Rita. And I'm hoping that all the lenders here are part of the CAP program, but if not, that they will be very soon. Very good. Well, next, I will invite Justin Reeder with Bank of Albuquerque. He's the Vice President for the Commercial Banking Group. So go ahead, Justin.
Thank you, Gabby, and good morning to everybody. I see some familiar faces and a couple familiar names on the call. So good to see everybody again. I wanted to talk a little bit about Bank of Albuquerque's minority-owned business initiative. Excuse me. We have we've launched an initiative, and really we sort of put a name to what we were already doing here in the market, but we launched an initiative that really the goal of it was to deliver the full suite of products and services that Bank of Albuquerque offers to our diverse minority-owned business community. So we call it MOBI, M-O-B-I, and that's the Minority-Owned Business Initiative. But we really aim to deliver consultation, advice, lending support, obviously deposit and treasury management services, but really give minority-owned businesses a good head start in the market as they launch and continue to grow. So we provide access to capital with customized loan solutions, and the loan solutions that we offer, it's really a full suite. So it's equipment financing through term debt, operating lines of credit, owner-occupied real estate. If the opportunity presents to own your own headquarters or your own office or own your own warehouse, that's where we step in and we provide some really good solid support for owner-occupied real estate. Tenant improvement loans, if you need money if you're leasing a space and you need some money to fix up or build out or make the space work for you, we can support you with capital there. And then the biggest thing is our preferred lender status with the SBA, and it's a good credential that allows us to really open up borrowers that may not otherwise be qualified. Now I see a lot of really fantastic lending partners in the community. Leroy at the Loan Fund, I know, has supported many of our smaller businesses And so there's lots of different ways that our minority-owned business owners, including our tribal and native partners, can access capital. But if SBA is the right solution, Bank of Albuquerque is an SBA preferred lender. So we have all of the access to SBA guarantees that the federal government offers. So that's a little bit about our minority-owned business initiative. Bank of Albuquerque has been a member of the community going back to the mid-90s. Obviously, it was in the market prior to that under a different name, but we really strive and pride ourselves on integrating our entire workforce here at the bank within the community. So many of our employees are in civic leadership programs and volunteer on many boards, probably partners with some of you there in the community. And then we try and join as many relevant associations and chambers of commerce as possible. So that just really kind of puts the third pillar there in what we offer to the minority-owned business community. A little bit about what qualifies a company to get a loan. And again, everybody's different, so I really like to stress that our solutions are customized. So we really look at the individual business and the individual request. What's the goal of our business owner? What's the goal of our long-term strategy of our business owner? And so we look at three things. We look at cash flow. We look at the collateral that's involved in many of our solutions, and then we look at finally guarantor support. As I reach kind of the end of our time here, I do want to stress one takeaway that is important to everybody on the call, whether you're a lender or primarily though a business owner or an executive at a business, that you're looking for capital. If you can take anything away from the call today, is make sure that your financial statements, including balance sheet, P&Ls, cash flow statements, and tax returns, are all quality. Make sure that you can present a good quality financial statement to your lender, whoever that is, whether that's through a government program or private money or one of the fantastic lenders that are on the call today. I want to stress the importance, because you can certainly talk about the high points of a business, but we really rely on supporting those highlights through the numbers that we see in the financial statement. So I appreciate the time, and I can open it up if there's any questions for me at this point. Otherwise, I wanted to thank you all and hope to see you around in the community.
Thank you so much, Justin. Yeah, please add your contact information. I can't actually see the chat, so maybe you already did that. And for all the participants, feel free to start writing your questions down in the Q&A, or we can also open it up once all the participants have shared, because there's lots of experienced lenders here that can get to you. Okay, next we will have Brian McKelvey. He's the division president here in Albuquerque with Western Commerce Bank.
Thank you, Gabby, and good morning to everyone out there. As Gabby said, my name is Brian McKelvey. I'm the division president here for our Albuquerque branch of Western Commerce Bank. We're a small community bank. We're about $600 million in assets, headquartered out of Carlsbad, New Mexico. So our banks are all in New Mexico. We focus a lot on small business and commercial lending is kind of our forte, if you will. We do a lot of small business loans through SBA 7A, SBA Express. We'll do SBA 504, and of course we can do them in-house as well and do direct type financing. We are an SBA preferred lender, so we do have a lot of the abilities to underwrite, make the decisions locally, and then request the guarantee from SBA. So it helps certainly speed up the process when we get into a small business type loan. We have been the SBA Community Lender of the Year in the state of New Mexico for 7 years in a row now, and still counting. We're that's something we take kind of a feather in our cap. We're really proud of that, actually. And that goes hand in hand with that preferred lender status. We'll do a little bit of anything. We'll do commercial real estate. We'll do equipment loans, operating lines of capital, startup business financing. We'll do tenant improvements for the small business. So we can do those, as I mentioned, through various different programs, the SBA or in-house. We can use USDA as well if necessary. We do ag lending as well. Most of that's down our down south branches, but we can do them up north if need be. That's through FSA, USDA, or once again, even in-house type financing there too. Construction lending, commercial, residential. We're happy to do either of those, as well as the mentioned tenant improvements. Residential mortgage lending, of course, we are a full service branch. As I mentioned, headquartered in Carlsbad. We were founded in 1961. So we really focus on, as a small town, very much customized individual service, where you get that kind of small hometown feel as you come into our branches, at any other branches really. We look at every business loan as a case-by-case basis. Everyone's very much unique, and no one is really the same. So we really want to sit down and have a conversation about what's needed, what options are out there. If we need to look at the state programs, we're certainly happy to bring them in as well as work with the federal programs, or keep the decision in the bank. We work with a loan committee. So our loan committee is local. It is a New Mexico-based loan committee. That's how we do our loan decisions. We also have local approval authority here in Albuquerque, for example, as well as our other locations as well down south. So we keep our decisions mostly in the state, and really we want to focus on the communities we're in and keep those decisions in the communities that we're in, so that we really understand what we're doing. We understand our borrowers. We understand the neighborhoods that everyone is in, and really want to focus on that and make sure we're doing the right thing for all of us as we move forward. As I mentioned, we're a full service branch. It's a family owned bank, actually, which is kind of a nice feel as well. And I would like to say that we do also, as being community, we stay in the markets that we're in. We try to focus on being a part of the community. We're a small branch here in Albuquerque. There's only actually 6 employees at our location here. So as you come in, you can see the real the small town feel and the hometown that we have. But anyway, my contact info is on the slide. I will also put it in the comments here. I'm happy to answer any questions during the Q&A today, but also if you want to more on a one-on-one basis and would love to just visit, I'm happy for that. Just even have a phone call, an email. We can talk about ideas, things that if you just need some ideas from the banking side or financing, I'm happy to share those as well from my experience. But I do appreciate being here, and thank you very much for allowing me to share some information about our bank.
Thank you for being available today, Brian. And I think it's common with all the lenders that have been presenting. Any questions, reach out to them. They want to talk to you directly, because it's impossible, I think, for any lender to talk about the best funding option for your business without having talking to you. So please reach out to them. They'll be happy to share a little bit more. Very good. Next, we have Rio Grande Credit Union. So John Stewart, he's a specialty lending. Actually, John, maybe you can introduce yourself, because there's a AVP. I'm not 100% sure what that stands for. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm the Assistant Vice President of Specialty Lending, which really is commercial lending. I've just recently joined the credit union after spending 10 years in commercial banking. So I'm very happy to join the team and proud of what Rio Grande is doing. We offer a full suite of business, treasury, and lending services, which include, similar to everyone else on the call, commercial real estate, on both the construction and acquisition or purchase side. We offer equipment lending, pretty much the full suite of any type of business lending you could think of. And as kind of discussed with other lenders, it all really just starts with a discussion, right? There's no, like you said, there's no way to bring up every example or every situation. Even every commercial real estate that you look at is going to have different tweaks. So we really look forward to encourage people just to come in and start with a conversation, and we can kind of gear the direction of the business owner at that point. One of the areas that we're very proud of that we work with is we work with ITIN lenders or ITIN individuals. We do offer business treasury and lending for I-10 individuals, and we've done quite a bit of that over the last couple of years. Another area that I will be starting is I did quite a bit of tribal lending my last organization, and it's an area of focus for me, especially working with the BIA and doing some BIA guarantees. I definitely understand the federal trust land and addressing sovereign immunity when we're dealing with those types of transactions. Another area that we see a need in the market, and we want to work with those individuals. But yeah, I think Rio Grande is here. We've been in the market for over 40 years. We work with in Bernalillo County and Sandoval County individuals and businesses. We offer mortgage, both construction and permanent. So no, I'm very thankful for have everybody on the call and be a part of this organization. And we look forward to making dreams come true in the community.
Fabulous. Thank you so much also for sharing your expertise in tribal lending, and then very excited that Rio Grande Credit Union is able to support individuals that have an I-10. Fabulous. Nusenda Credit Union. So we have Jen Manning. She's a Co-op Capital Program Manager, and we'd love to hear more from you. Go ahead.
Great. Thanks so much, Gabby. Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be here to share some resources today. So thanks for the opportunity. As Gabby said, I'm with Nusenda Credit Union. Nusenda is New Mexico's largest credit union. We were founded in 1936 by New Mexico educators. We are formally New Mexico Educators Credit Union with a rebrand in 2015, which makes us now Nusenda Credit Union, which really the purpose of that rebrand was to broaden the members that we serve. As many may know, credit unions were created to serve specific groups of folks, which we actually don't do. We serve the entire state of New Mexico and beyond. And furthermore, credit unions are not for profit, not for charity, but for service. I've heard that theme mentioned a couple of times throughout this morning's panel. So I think that speaks to the ability to sit down with a community member, a potential member, and talk about what is the best fit for them, even if it's not within our organization. One really important point is that we are committed to strengthening the financial well-being of our members and throughout, New Mexico. And so it's really important that we lean on our fellow community members and local lenders if there's something we can't solve, because the truth is we can't do everything ourselves. With that said, we offer a suite of loans to support both individuals, entrepreneurs, and community members who are looking for stabilization. As a credit union, we are also CDFI. I think it was Rita mention community development financial institutions. So along with many of our other partners on the call, Nusenda is a community development financial institution. And so that means we have been blessed with resources that allow us to get more creative with the folks that we serve and the resources that we have. So what are those resources? We have, of course, deposits, deposit services and banking services. So, your typical account resources for both individuals and businesses. And then, of course, we have access to capital. So we have a variety of consumer loans and individual loans. Some consumer loans that can actually be used for business purposes. We have a commercial lending side of the credit union. So similarly, we are able to offer lines of credit and commercial property loans. We have not yet joined the collateral assistance program, but are hoping to, Rita. So hopefully that's something that if someone applies with a Nusenda and doesn't have sufficient collateral, they will be able to lean on both resources to get their loan booked and funded. And then finally, in my space, I've actually worked in financial services my entire life, but right now, as Gabby mentioned, I oversee the Co-op Capital relationship-based lending program. So I tend to focus on this program pretty heavily because it really breaks down the barriers of traditional lending and the 5 C's of credit that we sometimes can't always fulfill, and that making access to capital a lot more difficult for many of us. So that through the Co-op Capital micro lending program, we offer microloans, which, to be quite frank, those loans are only up to $10,000, and we realize that not a lot can be done with just $10,000. So in some situations, we'll get creative with the loans that we provide a member to try to provide all the resources that they need to achieve a goal. So it really is like a compilation of resources to fit a need, or can be. And sometimes $10,000 does the trick. But anyway, Co-op Capital is a program that is created in collaboration with partners throughout New Mexico. So 18 partner organizations throughout the state of New Mexico that identify borrowers in their space and provide technical assistance and wraparound support. So there really are no barriers for these folks. The loans are issued to community members for community stabilization, so to immigrants, folks reentering society. We also focus pretty widely on entrepreneurship in that space. So many of the partner organizations provide pretty thoughtful technical assistance around financial education and marketing and many other things. And so to get access to Nusenda's regular suite of resources, you can go to nusenda.org. I'll put my information in the chat. To get to access to Co-op Capital, you wouldn't go to nusenda.org. You could reach out directly to me. And that really is a creative conversation where we identify if there's an organization that's focusing specifically on the work that an entrepreneur is doing, which could be, like I said, it could be a variety of spaces. Maybe it's a native space. Maybe they are in the agriculture space. Maybe it's in renewable energy. So we have a variety of partner organizations that focus on specific niches. Through the Co-op Capital program, we've issued about 400 loans, so it's a fairly small program. About $2 million in loans. And so if you break that down, you can kind of get the average size of a loan is about $7,000. And focusing on our Native community, 47% of our borrowers are Native American. So I think that speaks to, what the program is trying to achieve and who we're trying to serve, and really the ability to try to break down barriers for folks. So like I said, we serve communities all across New Mexico, basically from Las Cruces to Taos, but all areas in between. Through the Co-op Capital program, we actually serve members outside of New Mexico, so on the Navajo Nation, up through Colorado and down to Texas. So we have a bit of a wider reach. And then again, financial education is coupled with all of these programs and resources. So whether you're in the credit union or you're working with a community partner through Co-op Capital. So all in all, as you know, New Mexico's largest credit union as a community development financial institution, we try. We can't do it all, but please feel free to reach out to us. We will try to fit you in the program that is best for your needs. And as I mentioned earlier, if we run into a situation where we're unable to support, we have a great relationship with our local community lenders and fellow financial institutions throughout New Mexico, and we're happy to refer to other folks. So I'll put my information in the chat, and thanks.
Thanks so much, Jen. I didn't realize that 47% of the folks in the Co-op Capital are Native American. That's very impressive. So thanks for sharing that. Very good. We will continue moving along. Next, we have Sandra Lopez. She's with B-Side Fund, and I think it's an organization that a lot of us are not familiar with. So we're excited that she's here since they are lending in New Mexico. So go ahead.
Thank you. Fantastic. Well, as Gabby says, Sandra Lopez, loan officer with B-Side. For over 30 years, BSI, formerly known as the Colorado Lending Source, have been helping and supporting small businesses. In 2021, we rebrand through BSI Fund and BSI Capital. BSI Fund that I'm very excited to share with you all. We are now lending in New Mexico, and we are a nonprofit that provide finance to small businesses that don't have access to a traditional finance or are being declined by banks. Our primary market will be serving underserved businesses that include women, veteran-owned, rural bases, minority-owned, early stage. And through our program, we offer different finance options for those businesses. Our programs offer finance from $20,000 up to $150,000. Amortization terms is up to 7 years, and the maximum interest rate that will be asked will be 12%. Our clients can use our funds either for working capital, debt refinance, business acquisition, inventory. We also help with purchase of equipment. We do not finance vehicle or construction projects, but other than that, we are happy to review those applications. And as Gabby said, we are located in Colorado. However, BSI Fund will be now offering these opportunities for small businesses in New Mexico. Our program, how our program works, if applicants are interested in know more about BSI Fund, we invite them to visit our website, and then they will be able to complete an eligibility check that allows them to complete our online application. If they are a good fit for our program, and if they would like to move forward with what we offer, they will be guided to the process and upload all the financial documentation that we require. In terms of eligibility check, we are looking for businesses that have been operating at least for 6 months and with a minimum credit score with 630. Other than that, we are happy to review pretty much all industries. And as soon as we receive all the paperwork, our team will review those applications. We have a loan review committee that review those applications as well. And if the loan gets approved, our team will be work very closely with the borrowers to complete all the paperwork for closing. If you have any questions, I leave all my information in the chat, but also visit our website at BSI Fund. We have programs available in English and Spanish. And if you want to contact with one of our loan officers, we'll be happy to make that phone call as well. And happy to answer any questions.
Thanks so much,
Gabby.
Sandra. Thank you. I appreciate that your slide has all the details there for the terms of the loans. It's very clear. So I appreciate that. Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. And now, at last but not least, we're very excited to have the Loan Fund with us today. So Leroy Pacheco, who's the president and CEO, and he's just going from event to event, sharing about access to capital. So we have him now, and then he has another one at 10 a.m. So Leroy, go ahead.
Thank you, Gabriela. Gracias. It's good to see everybody here. Also, just Marvis, good to see you. I'm the treasurer of the board of the American Indian Chamber, Marvis. So thank you for partnering up with MBDA. Before I get started, too, I want to thank MBDA. In 2011, the MBDA recognized the Loan Fund nationally as the Access to Capital Champion for 2011. So we're real excited about, Gabriela, you having us on board here today. MBDA has just done tremendously, not only in New Mexico, but all over the United States. I wanted to just start off a little bit. We are a mission-driven organization. We were started in 1989. There was a pocket of poverty committee set up. New Mexico was #1 in poverty at that time. And so under the New Mexico Conference of Churches, this pocket of poverty committee set up Habitat for Humanity to deal with housing. They set up the storehouse to deal with feeding people here on Broadway and Central. They set up the Samaritan Counseling Center, and then they set up the Loan Fund. Of course, the Loan Fund had no money, but 4 chapters of the Adrian Dominican Sisters lent us $100,000 at that time. 30 years later, we finally paid them off. 30 years later, we've made $113 million worth of loans and created over 12,000 jobs throughout New Mexico, and currently have about $35 million on the street from Santa Teresa to Angel Fire, to Deming, to Silver City, to Española, to Chama. I just closed a loan in Mora, Teresa's Tamales, to a new owner, and then Wildcats Den in Cuesta, to a new owner up in Cuesta. So we have loans all over the state of New Mexico. We are a mission-driven organization. We have used the CAP program from the state, Rita. One of our great loans to 66 acres, Myra Gaddis, over there by the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center. We use the CAP program to shore up the collateral there. We also have been an SBA and are an SBA 504 lender. If you get down into Las Cruces, go to Taqueria Chavez or go to Paleteria Michoacan, you'll find two large $750,000 SBA 504 loans. We were the lender on that one. We're also an SBA micro lender. For those of you that are listening out there right now, you 126 people or so, Gabriela, we have 2 rounds of SBA right now, loans under $50,000, micro loans available right now to lend out. I've got blank checks ready now, so the first 50 people that call me might be able to get that loan. Again, we lend money also to business startups. Just on what you see on the screen right there, up on the top right there, you see Delia Gallegos, who owns El Sarape over on Blake Southwest. Down over on the left, you see Mr. Holtzy and his wife up in Farmington. We financed an $80,000 rig. I think the second page of this one also, Gabrielle, I don't know if you can flip, or maybe you just have one side on there. There's also, you're going to see Susan Matucci from Southwest Creative Collaboratives. Go over to 722 Isleta Boulevard, and you'll see the new Community Enterprise Center. She is the anchor tenant in there. She's been borrowing money from us for probably 16 to 17 years. So the other thing I want to let you know, we make loans from $5,000 to $1.5 million. We have 2 clients right now that have $1 million lines of credit, $1 million line of credit at 4%. And we take their 74 Maverick, their black and white TV, their toaster oven, and co-signed by their grandmother, whatever it takes to restructure the note. Our goal is to continue to become and be the refueling station that a revolving loan fund should be. We're like a gas station. We're sitting here taking a look at, and I think Justin was talking about this, and Mr. Stewart, you know, we're a cash flow lender. Years ago in banking, if you all remember, there was the 4 C's of lending, you know, credit, capacity, collateral, cash flow. And then the big one here this last couple of years has been what? COVID. How many businesses have been affected by COVID? And so I think there are now 26 C's of lending. I'm not exactly sure. So we have been called very lucky, very fortunate, very blessed. But I think we're pretty strategic. You know, we've been lending out just since 2007, since the biggest depression in the world. And then COVID, we've lent out over $95 million. And the average interest rate is 4%. So we went out a couple of years ago and went to our biggest funders and told them there's a tsunami coming this way. If you don't want your parking lot full of toaster ovens and black and white TVs, you better help us. And so they gave us money at a very low rate. We raised another $35 million in the last 2 years. So we have plenty of money, but if you come to see us, we ask you to bring us 10 things. Don't show up with 10. I think Justin and John and even Brian were making a note of this thing. If you don't have a business plan, put one together. Very simple. Who are you? What do you want to do? When are you going to do it? Where are you going to do it? And how are you going to do it? Very, very simple. 5 pages. The other thing I think that you brought out, Gabrielle, and a few others just a little while ago, keep your documents and all your tax returns and everything else current. We're going to ask you who your accountant is. We're going to ask you what kind of legal structure you have. We're going to ask you who your insurance agent is. We're going to ask you how I find you, radio, TV, newspapers, and have you separated your business from your personal? The other comment I want to make, Gabriela, before I reach my 30 minutes of speaking time here, keep a drawer in your filing cabinet somewhere with your resume current, any degrees, certificates, licenses that you have, your personal financial statement, last 2 years of your personal taxes, your business financial statement, and the last 2 years of your business financial statements. If you have a health insurance policy, have a copy of it. If you have a life insurance policy, have a copy of it. If you have an IRA or 401k, have copies of those. If you have credit cards under your business, have copies of those. If you're members of any boards, commissions, members of any chambers, have that list. Those are the things, Gabriela, that takes us so long to gather. When somebody comes in and we ask them for 10 things and they bring us 6. And then first thing they say is, what do you think, Leroy? How long does a loan like this take? Well, Gabriela, I don't have your x-rays. I don't know your blood pressure. Not sure what your blood type is. Let me get my magic wand and, and wave it around and see if I can help you. So have your act together when you go see a lender. Being a lender back, I made my first SBA loan back in 1972 before some of you were born. So I know what the bankers want, and make sure that you're ready to see them, and make sure you've got a business plan, whether you're a business startup or somebody that's been in business quite a while. We lend about $1 million a month here at the Loan Fund. All right. We just lent a few months ago, a nonprofit $1.5 million to buy their building. We just increased an SBA 8A contractor's line of credit from $100,000 to $1 million. And he started with us about 6 years ago with a $30,000 loan and 2 employees. Today, he has 52 employees. He's going to do $10.5 million a year, and he's in the SBA 8A program. So if you come to see us, be ready, be prepared. If you need some help, go to a small business development center, go to Gabriela at the MBDA, go to somebody else, and they'll give you a checklist of what you need to have together. Go on loanfund.org, and it'll tell you a little bit about us. There's also an application in there. If you have any questions, give us a call. Leroy Pacheco at the Loan Fund. We're real pleased to, Gabriela, be a part of this session. I want to thank you and commend you for bringing together such a group of eclectic lenders, that people that understand small business, understand tribal, understand sovereignty, understand business startups, and etc. So Gabrielle, my hat goes off to you. Thank you for including us now, and I'll turn it back over to you and sip my milk and my coffee and listen a little bit. Thank you so much, Gabriela.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. And I think we all appreciate the comments that you made related for businesses to be ready when they're going to talk to a lender, not only documentation, but then also thinking about their credit. So thank you. I appreciate that. So I will let actually Carrie manage the questions. I can't really see it. So Carrie, I don't know if there's any questions, but we can also open it up for all business owners that are here today.
Are we going to just do them through chat? How do we want to do the questions?
Is there any questions in the chat right now? Maybe you can read them and see if there's folks. And if not, I already saw that Dee Dee has her hand up, but
yeah, there's none in the chat other than will we get a PDF file of the presentation. So yes, you will get a copy of the presentation and contact information for everybody that's on. And
we did have one question in the chat regarding Nusenda. I think it was Nusenda's credit union. They went in and talked to someone, and I'm sorry I don't have that chat up with me, but it was a question about Nusenda's loan practice.
Thanks. I did see that.
I think it said that she went in to talk to Nusenda, that they only do real estate loans or something. I think that was the question.
Yeah, that's the question. So I'm so sorry that you were misguided. Please feel free to reach out to me and I can provide contact information or a link to how to get the application to get the right loan you're looking for. Maybe Co-op Capital is the right space for you. But we do in fact offer lines of credit for businesses, business credit cards. We do individual loans for business purposes. And then we have the Co-op Capital micro lending program. So perhaps the financial consultant that assisted was not as well informed, but I'm happy to provide those resources.
Thank you. And we do have somebody with their hand up. I don't want to butcher your name. I'm so sorry. Please go ahead.
Hi, my name is Dee Dee. I'm the owner of Olive Tree Compounding Pharmacy. And right now I'm actually in the midst of an expansion project. And so thank you so much for providing this information. Brian at Western Commerce Bank, I will definitely reach out to you. And John with Rio Grande Credit Union. I like the information that you presented, and I think there is a possibility for us to collaborate. But I wanted to address the CAP program. So I've never heard of it. It seems quite interesting because Right now I'm in a position of looking for some injection cash. And I'm wondering if I'm understanding that the CAP program can be used for that, or am I misunderstanding? I guess so. My question is directed to Rita.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Edie.
Hi.
So it's not an injection of cash or kind of like a grant. It more is when you talk to Nusenda or Western Commerce Bank and you ask for the loan, let's say you only have enough collateral to cover 50% of the loan, right? Because they're going to ask you for collateral. Sometimes business owners are found having to put down like their mortgage or a vehicle or something of their personal belongings. And instead of having to do that, we could come in and cover that collateral shortfall of up to 50%. And like I said before, it's based on a scoring factors. So that'll depend on how much, but we can cover collateral up to $250,000. So let's say you ask for 100K and you only have 75K collateral to cover with everything that you're going to be purchasing. We could come in and cover that other 25K, for example.
Okay. And then do you have a partnership with Main Bank or no?
I'm not too sure, but I can go ahead and
I can search, like you said, it's on your website, right? Like you can search.
I'll put our website, the direct link to the CAP program information on the chat right now.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dee Dee. Are there any other questions? And Leroy, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to you. Loan Fund actually gave me my first business loan back in 2006. So I just wanted to say thanks. I don't see any other questions.
And I was just going to say one more thing, Dee Dee, that I forgot. If they are not enrolled with us, please have them enroll with us. It's an easy process.
Okay. I guess, so, you know, I think as a business owner, I think I probably share the same sentiment with a lot of other business owners that are in the process of expanding. You know, construction costs has increased over the last year. I had my project increased by $800,000. And so in order to get the project done, I'm looking for more cash to inject into the project. So do you guys know of any resources that can help me with that? Or is every resource just going to say, you just have to have that money?
This is John Stewart. I know, you know, there's programs out there. I know NMFA out of Santa Fe have some programs to assist. We had another project that we were looking at where they can come in, you know, either from assist with SBA, but they have some funds. They have some different programs, and it would be worth probably a conversation to reach out to NMFA also.
Okay. That's the New Mexico Finance Authority?
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Either raise your hand or put a question in the chat.
Oh.
All right, here we go. Alan, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. All right.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to introduce myself a little bit and make you guys aware, if you weren't aware, of another program that is now out there trying to help entrepreneurs. I am a tribal liaison with the UNM Rainforest Innovations program. You probably have heard of UNM Rainforest Innovations, but they brought us on board to help give some attention to our Native entrepreneurs. And so I'm glad to be on the call and to continue educating myself about a lot of the financial resources that are available, and look forward to passing that information on to folks that I talk with along the way, and feel free to send people our way as well so that we can provide them support and connect them to resources as well.
Definitely. Can you please send me your information?
Yeah, I'll put that in the chat.
Awesome. Thanks.
Okay. All right.
Thanks for your input.
Mhm.
Very good. Well, we are getting to the end of our hour. So we're just so grateful for all the lenders that were able to attend and share about the opportunities with each organization. So thank you so much. And of course, thank you for Rita, and Carrie and Marvis for being co-hosts here today. So I don't know if Marvis or Carrie want to share any last words. And I will make sure to send the PowerPoint and all the contact of all the folks here to everyone that attended today.
I just wanted to say thank you to all the lenders. This was really great information. When we did this 6 months ago, I sent the presentation out to a ton of people afterwards because like I said, we constantly get this question on how do I fund my business? So we will continue to share all this information, and business owners that are on this call, please feel free to share it and get the word out. Thank you.
Yes, just want to thank everybody for joining us today. Good to see many of you. Some of you are chamber members. Good to have you on today in today's session. I want to thank Gabriela for pulling this together as well. Great lineup. Thank you all for your presentations and for your information. Special thanks to Nusenda for your work. Become more familiar with your outreach and supporting businesses located on tribal lands, and at times tribal sovereignty needs to be better understood, and I appreciate that effort, and others of you have spoken to that as well. So thank you for all that you do in supporting our businesses out there.
Very good. Well, thank you everyone again. Have a great Wednesday and rest of the week, and keep your eyes open because the contact information and the PowerPoint will be coming very soon. Very good. Well, have a great day, everyone.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.